Welcome everyone to the Analytic Mind podcast by Enterprise DNA. This is a podcast which dives into a range of different ideas and tips to empowering a data-led culture within organizations. We want you to develop the analytic mind to create immense value for yourself and your teams.
Hey, Brian. Welcome to the podcast again. Welcome, everyone, to the Analytic Mind. Keen to get another great discussion going here with Brian. So, welcome in, Brian.
Thanks, Sam. Always enjoy being on.
We discussed at the start of the year, I think, that we wanted to do this more often, and I just think that this is the way to go for the podcast going forward is to have us have at least one chat a month, I think. And there's always so much to talk about. There's so much going on externally with all of the technologies the technological changes happening so fast. There's just always something for us to chat about. But also we've got a lot going on internally too at Enterprise DNA, and I think it's well worth discussing a little bit about that and why we're doing some of the initiatives that we are planning. And let everyone in on what's sort of going on and what's on our mind.
Yeah, a lot of stuff flying all at the same time this time.
Yeah. So what I thought we could really dive into, we've got a new initiative that you're leading, and we've been thinking about it for a while, and there's many reasons why we think it's a good one for our users and the community as a whole. And so maybe I'll just throw to you, and you can give a bit of a background about it. But I think it's huge for us in terms of what we want our platform to become over the long term, and I just think it's a good opportunity here to let everyone know more about it.
Yeah. So we call it workouts or workout center, and it really does have a huge parallel to going to a physical gym. That it's really the way we're conceptualizing it is it's kind of like going to a big gym, and you go there with a focus to train in a particular area, kind of get in, work hard, work out and get out. It's not unlike in the past, we've relied heavily on data challenges to kind of reinforce our learning materials. And I think those have been good, but that's always a big commitment. Building a good data challenge report is a lot of hours. It's a big focused effort. And I think there are a lot of folks who between work and family and other responsibilities, that training and doing the coursework and reading and watching videos, that alone takes a lot of time. And so they need something that's a little bit more accessible and kind of smaller scale than doing a big data challenge. And it may also be that, they've got time, but are looking for a really focused thing they want to improve on. I had a friend who was interviewing for jobs and basically was really strong in a bunch of areas, but didn't have great SQL skills. And she really wanted to quickly elevate her SQL skills. And when she did, she was able to, basically was successful in applying for a number of positions and is, subsequently, moved up quite quickly, but needed that SQL expertise quickly. And so the workouts are a way, in a really time efficient way, to gain, I think, accelerated skill level in whatever area you're looking for, and so they're kind of modeled after Vijay Verma was the first one to really start something like this with the Excel BI challenges, and we've partnered with Vijay on these, and it's a nightly challenge that he does, Power Query in Excel, and it's kind of simple to explain problems. Difficult, some is very difficult to do, but it's kind of 45 minutes in and then out, and you do those night in, night out, and it has a huge impact. And so we're kind of looking to replicate that impact across a whole range of skills, basically all the skills you need for a really solid data analyst stack.
Yeah, no, look, thanks for that. Thanks for laying it out like that, because I think that it's probably one of the biggest initiatives that we've ever run at Enterprise DNA,
Yeah.
in terms of the coordination that we have to do to actually make it work, but also I think the value add to our users, and to all of those who are connected to us for getting involved. The ability to do these short form exercises on a regular basis in a cohort, in a group, and while you're collaborating. I just don't think there's, I think that we're one of the only places out there who could do this really effectively, who could bring all of that together. And I also think that the timing of this is perfect, because there's all of this AI technology that's coming out as well, and we're totally pro actually using all of this technology within your workouts. It's kind of like, there's new tech, right? That can improve how you learn, and this is a way to utilize that in a learning environment, like an actual practice environment. And I think there's this confluence of things that are going on in the tech world and also with us, that are going to make this a real success. So yeah, really, really glad that you're leading this for us, and also going to be sort of the lead coordinator, at least initially, on rolling this out.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and it's one of those things. We actually had a call among kind of the first round of leaders for the workouts we're going to be starting next week, and we were all talking about the fact that we're excited about this to roll it out to the community, but each of us is also looking forward to actually doing the workouts, and we were saying that there are things that each of the leaders is leading that we each individually, one of us wants to gain some additional learning on ourselves. And so,
Mm,
I think in addition to being, kind of providers, we're also consumers on this. And I think that's really going to help,
mm,
kind of hone the process. And, you know, one of the things that, we've seen with VJs is the community provides a tremendous amount of learning. That our
mm,
our goal is, we're going to open this up to everybody, members, non-members, and the value really comes from both the exercise and then also studying the range of responses that come in.
mm,
And so I was just talking to a friend this weekend about how he and I are really kind of progressing at a very similar level on the M coding stuff. And we were talking about the value of learning from, half a dozen amazing solutions that get posted every night,
yeah.
and the range of techniques. And so if you think about DAX, that a given DAX problem could have 10 good solutions to it. And
Mm,
being able to see kind of different styles of writing DAX and different functions that people rely on and utilize in different ways. It's
mm,
like the diversity of knowledge that comes in through an exercise like this is just hugely, hugely valuable. And so,
mm,
I'm really, really excited about that, and also just about the range of workouts that we've got planned and the experts that we've got leading each of them. We've got plans for SQL, Python, R, Pandas, data visualization, Deneb, Power Automate, Power Apps, data analysis, statistical analysis,
mm,
and we're still maintaining. The other thing we're doing is we're still maintaining the data challenge concept, and we're now calling builds, which are kind of
mm,
more durable, rather than being kind of focused on a 3-week contest or something. It's going to be
mm.
more like the way Kaggle does it, which is you've got kind of a storehouse of projects
Yeah.
that are being worked on, and you can dive in at any time on those. And we're really focusing also more on the learning aspect, the collaborative aspect, and the mentoring aspect than the competitive part.
Mm,
That's
mm.
another thing I think is going to be a nice change.
Yeah. No, I totally agree on all those points. One of the best things I see in our, over what you described was really our project center, right? Like our new project center, it's workouts and build, is it's such a good complement to the online learning, the online course content, online video content, because you and I know this, there's, with any of these languages, it can get rather technical. Just sometimes watching a video is actually rarely enough. You always need to do some sort of real world practice. You need to do some sort of application. But we're now providing a facility where you can come in, participate in something practical, and it will happen on a regular basis. There'll be a lot of variety. There'll be a whole crew of users participating for collaboration. So there's just so many more touch points to really embed down the knowledge that you need to know to effectively utilize all these different technologies. And over time, there's just going to be this huge backlog of threads of little workouts that you'll be able to do yourself, or you'll be able to see what everyone's done, and you'll be able to see how different people have done it. I just think that variety is just such a good complement to the extensive online training that we provide through the platform. So that to me is just the biggest thing in my eyes, is just providing that facility to practice on and learn from others. Like if I was to really quickly summarize it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I wanted to go back to your point earlier about kind of the confluence of this with the AI stuff and some of the other tools. For example, the work we're doing in updating the Analyst Hub and making that more broadly available. And the way I kind of see it is, I always say life is an open book test, and that, when you're doing a project at work, you're not told, okay, you can't use AI or you can't Google something. It's not like a coding challenge at a job interview. It's, you have everything available to you. And so in doing these sorts of workouts, my feeling is you should make those as similar to your daily work challenges as possible. And so really practice, to me, rather than think about these in a restricted way, practice your prompt engineering, for ChatGPT, practice your method of maintaining, code snippets, so whether it's, a personal knowledge management system like Obsidian or GitHub Gists or the Analyst Hub or VS Code snippets, or, whatever tools you use to maintain that information, kind of build that out as you're doing the workouts, and then make use of that in subsequent workouts, and make it, kind of like an active drill for what you do in your day job. And I think, it's just a perfect, as you say, it's a perfect complement to the coursework.
Yeah, I love that. And that is one thing that I think we will encourage we will encourage as much as possible, is these tools aren't going anywhere. These AI tools, we've talked about it a bit now. They're a game changer. They truly are. I don't know about you, but I signed up to Pro Chat GPT, and it's
available outside the US now.
Yeah, I got it. I'm in New Zealand, so I got a subscription in New Zealand, and it's even faster. It's even better than it was, 3 months ago.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
really
crazy.
Fast.
Yeah, it's so fast. And I have a sneaky suspicion the answers are a bit better too. But I only signed up a week ago, so I'll that's just initial thoughts. But this technology is not going anywhere, and this is just an opportunity, as you say, to start practicing using it more. Like that's what we want to encourage. In the near future, we also are going to connect the ChatGPT API into the Analyst Hub, into a redone Analyst Hub. So hopefully, you could actually use that. You could use that in the Analyst Hub. You could save code snippets into the code library area of the Analyst Hub. So we're trying to create almost like this engine to help you participate even more in practical learning workouts. And so there's a lot of things combining here that I think are going to be fantastic for our users, and that's really what makes me quite excited.
Yeah, me too. I think another thing that I've been thinking about for a while is, we talk a lot about the value of portfolios in,
Yeah.
kind of building your profile and in kind of furthering your career. But I've really become enamored of this idea of skill portfolios as well, rather than just project portfolios. And so, and think about kind of what gives people an advantage when you see a job announcement that says, okay, we want advanced skills in, SQL and Python.
Yeah.
You can show a certificate or something, or you can say, okay, I've got X number of years of experience doing that. But wouldn't it be cool to basically say, okay, here's a nicely assembled portfolio of my best 30 Python solutions.
Yeah.
In a daily exercise challenge. And it's like to
Yeah.
really give somebody who had knowledge the ability to look at your code and say, okay, like this is somebody who really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And how much more effective would that be than just saying on a resume, or saying in an interview, yeah, I'm highly skilled at that. It's like to be able to, here's a link and you can put 15 tiles up of my my most recent solutions. And I just think that's going to give people an enormous advantage.
Yeah. That actually flows onto a point that I was going to make, that I wanted to make at some point during our discussion was, I don't know if everyone has realized this just yet. Maybe some have, maybe some haven't. But all this AI technology is going to 5x how smart you can be across all of these different technologies. I mean, it's no joke. That is no joke. 6 months ago, I think we could have quite safely said it's quite hard to learn every single one of these technologies well, right? Like, DAX, M, R, SQL, Python. I mean, it's a lot. That's a lot, right? That's a lot to learn. But these AI technologies, it is not crazy to say that you could learn all of these well and build a skills portfolio, like literally learn, like master all of these technologies really well, build a skills portfolio across all of these technologies, and make yourself one of the most valuable people within any organization, quite easily. Like that isn't even crazy to say. And through building, participating in the workouts facility, building up the skills portfolio that we're going to, from a technology perspective, try and enable what Brian just described. That you literally are becoming within a short space of time the most valuable person in an organization, one of the most valuable people. That is, I can say that without any degree of uncertainty.
Well, I just saw there was an article in the Wall Street Journal today about like how they estimated that this technology is going to increase productivity of white collar workers by 37%. I don't exactly know how they get to 37%, but even if it's roughly in the ballpark, I mean, I could easily see
that's
increasing by a third is maybe even a conservative estimate of.
I mean, that's so low in my opinion. I mean, I've just using it myself. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, pretty much everything I do, I can just like throw in there, and it just throws it out. It throws out, an email, a blog, a contract. Everything. It's absolutely amazing. Code.
Yeah, and so you think about the ability to gain 12, 13, 14 hours a week. In terms of, additional productivity. And, you think about what, as you say, kind of what you could add to your stack if you had that. It kind of reminds you, I don't know if you ever saw that movie Limitless. It's kind of a B grade movie, but it was, it was kind of like, what would it be like if you could use 100% of your brain?
Yeah.
And, it really, I think we're getting to the point where it's like, we're not at that point yet, but all of a sudden there are going to be these major jumps in kind of your intelligence combined with with artificial intelligence. And it's like as you say, the ability now to to master a much wider range. And when I talk about the stack we're going to have in the workouts, 12, 13, 14 different skill stacks. And it's definitely going to be possible for somebody to master most of those.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a need to master all of them. For example, I really don't think there's a need to master R and Python.
Mm.
And so, there's not a need to master, pandas and, some of the R packages.
Mm.
But there is, I think, a need to, kind of have a facility with most of the things we're going to be covering in the workouts. And I think that is now possible.
Yeah. I think the thing for me about the diversity of like learning all these new technology in the variety of learning multiple technologies or languages, it's more the way, it's to change your way of thinking, isn't it? Like, because I think if you learn one, like if you just learn like one or two, you're not opening your mind into all the possibilities, to you analytically or through the value generation you could create. But if you have a more diverse skill set, you've got a more diverse way of thinking, and you're truly understanding the language of data. And I think that just opens up by default more opportunities, more value add for yourself, for those who you work with. So I just think the more we can empower that, the better. And I think that's exactly what we're doing, what we are doing, what we are going to try and do. How are these going to work, Ryan? How are they actually functionally going to work, and how is the users going to be able to participate on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to have basically one expert responsible for a given workout. And in some cases, like for the DAX workout, we're going to do those twice a week, but most of them are going to be once a week. And so it'll be kind of one expert, one workout. For the DAX workout, we've got two experts kind of sharing that, because we thought there's going to be a lot of call for DAX exercises. And so we thought we'd start off with a little more of that to begin with. But basically, we're going to have a scheduled day for every type of workout. And that workout is going to hit same time, same day, every week. And so you'll know, for example, Monday, the Deneb workout is going to hit. And, you'll have a week to put together a solution. And Greg Phillips, one of the top experts in the world on Deneb, he will be creating the problems. And then as solutions come in, he'll be checking them. So, just making sure that your solution submitted actually works the way it should. If it doesn't, he'll just say, hey, here's something you may want to check. You may want to check the way you've combined the layers on this visual. And so, it's not going to be a big thing like when we did problem of the week a while back. We had a video presentation, we had a breakdown of how that was, how the expert did their solution, and there was the discussion, and we just basically said we're going to make this much more streamlined. So the expert's going to come out with the problem, put it to the community. Everybody in the community is going to have a chance to work on it. It's going to be posted on our forum, and as you know, we've been working a lot on kind of making that part of the forum accessible to everybody in the in the community, whether an Enterprise DNA member or not. And so it's a great platform for that, because it can hold images, it can hold formatted code, it can hold PBIX files, so whatever that workout demands in terms of your solution, it can hold that information. And so you'll be able to see other people's code, be able to copy other people's code. The workout leaders will be able to access, everything submitted. And as you say, it'll build a great archive over time. But the key in this, I think, is going to be regularity, in that, each workout is going to happen exactly on a planned schedule. And so you'll know that, I'm checking my notes here, that, Jared, for example, Jared Moore is going to be, putting out the Power Automate ones on Wednesdays. You just know every Wednesday, boom, Power Automate. And kind of going back to what we talked about kind of gaining back time through AI. I think RPA is another way to really gain back time. And I talked to Jared a lot about this, in that he told me that he used to spend 3 hours a day kind of pulling data into his clients' reports, and that he would kind of pull all the data, make sure that it all flowed through the reports. And he said all that is now completely automated, and he doesn't spend any time. He just he gets in the morning, clicks on and checks to make sure everything flowed the way it was supposed to. And you think about being able to save 3 hours a day, through that sort of automation. And it's really not that complicated. And so he's really setting up his workouts with the idea that a lot of folks are going to be coming in never having done Power Automate. And so one of the things we're doing in these is we're setting difficulty levels on all of them. So there'll be a 1 through 5 star. Right. And for most of these, what we're going to do is we're going to start them off pretty basic. Make them interesting, but not immediately super difficult. And for the Power Automate ones, he's going to start at 1 stars, assuming no previous experience. And because I think a lot of folks haven't yet dived into that. And so he's gonna start where basically you can do the workouts concurrent with learning through the coursework, or learning through the blogs, and use that as a way to kind of advance your knowledge from an early stage. Regularity is a key, and kind of, I would say, kind of going back to the the gym metaphor, progressive resistance, that kind of having the ability to always be pushing yourself. So when you're comfortable with the 2-star exercises, push yourself to the 3 and 4s. When you're comfortable with the the 3s, push yourself to the 4s and 5s. And that's really how you're going to progress. And so that's the way we're conceptualizing it now. But the other thing is, it's really fluid in the sense that we're going to see what works, and we're going to adapt as we go. I don't think anybody's ever attempted anything at this scale before. There've been workout type exercises in different areas, but nothing as comprehensive as this. And so we're really going to test and just kind of see how it goes, and adjust as we get feedback from the community, and see what really clicks.
Yeah, it's amazing. We are also going to put this through social media as well, particularly LinkedIn. Is that right? We're going to have I'm not sure if you said that, but the forum is going to be the main collaboration area, but we still want there to be the ability to showcase it on LinkedIn as well. So we're working through exactly how that's going to work also.
Yeah. One thing we want to do is we want to make sure kind of everybody's aware of what workouts are ongoing, when they're available. And so, we're going to be doing a lot through social media on this. Yeah. And we're also going to make it so there's kind of a front piece where you can just click on one link and just see immediately what's active and how long each one has to go.
Yeah, got it. Nice. And we're also trying to completely connect these into all of the participation that that anyone is doing in the workouts is going to be completely integrated into the platform. So, for example, you'll be able to obtain XP points, experience points from participating.
Right.
You'll also be able to, I think, we will have some sort of notification link as well, I think. That was just something I thought of last night when I was talking to our developers, actually, having some as soon as a workout comes up and that you're interested in, it should sort of like pop up for you, right? Like you should actually see it when you go into the dashboard. So that's something that we're working on too. also, it will be a part of getting your certification in a particular learning path. That's definitely in the plan as well. We want users to be able to like truly practice, and then have a facility that enables that. So that's what this will enable also. And then also just more like collaborative tools, whether it's in a team environment, like your own business or team, but also in the community. So just being able to see what others are doing, what others are posting, and hopefully collaborating together. So there's some of that's going to happen straight away. Some of it is just going to happen over time, but that's just some of the sort of the technology enabled aspects that we're going to implement with the workouts as well.
Yeah, no, I think that it's something we see as kind of integral to everything we're doing, and so kind of having it linked and integrated into kind of all aspects of the learning experience. I think the other thing, you talk about kind of the experience points and the learning paths, but I think the other thing is the potential for kind of building toward like membership on the expert team, for example. That in the past we've kind of used challenges in the forum as the way people kind of gain admittance to that team, and that team kind of gives an enormous range of opportunities in terms of content creation and summit participation and being a workout lead. And so that one of the things I've done from my participation in the Excel BI challenge is actually recruited, one of the best participants there to be a leader for one of our workouts. And so, we've got him coming on board soon to to take over another workout on something he's expert in. So, I think there's a great opportunity also, kind of individually to shine in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. I can't keep going back to the article that you read that said AI is only going to improve your productivity 37%. I think that is so underweighted in my opinion, because I think that you would be able to participate in these sort of workouts, just as one example, probably 3 to 5 times faster by using AI. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. Like if you can help solve or help audit a formula and put it into ChatGPT and sort of get advice on each part of the formula, create documentation in the formula, whatever. I mean, there's so many options. I mean, that's a multiple multiplier. There's multiple productivity productivity gains there. Has to be.
And I think that's certainly going to increase over time. I mean, at the moment, that doesn't sound out of line to me, because as you and I have talked about, coding is not the thing that the AI technology is great at this point. And so, there's still a fair amount of time needed to correct and validate the solution. So that number doesn't sound out of line to me from a coding standpoint, but in terms of a lot of other things, I think you get a much higher payoff. But I think it's the day is coming when that number, even for coding, is going to go substantially higher.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. I was I've been tasked with creating a new website for my tennis club. I play a bit of tennis, and I needed to redo all of the page, like all the copy for the pages. And so this would generally take me a lot of time, a lot of like thinking. I literally did it in half. I got all the copy done in half an hour through ChatGPT. I mean,
wow.
Just from describing, like I would just literally just describe, hey, we're a 5 courts, in a city, so on and so forth. I need copy for a website. I want to have 5 different sections covering this, and this. Boom. I mean, it gave me that was just like one page. It gave me an answer in 30 seconds, like less than 30 seconds. I mean, it is just crazy. It is absolutely crazy how helpful that is.
Yeah.
Like not only in time, it's also like a lot of the work we do in front of a computer takes thought. It takes like a lot of thinking time, and that actually does drain your energy, whether you agree or not. But like to me, it certainly does. And to be able to help with that, it just gives you more mental energy to do other things, to do multiple things, to learn other things. Like, that to me is the massive multiplier here. When you do that across, the entire working landscape, even just the entire world. I mean, just how amazing is that? How absolutely incredible is that? I think I heard I watched a YouTube clip of Satya Nadella saying similar sort of thing. Like, can you think of a technology other than the internet, or the mobile phone, which is going to empower so many people across so many different things so quickly? Like, there probably isn't. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. I think it's probably akin to smartphones, in terms of, kind of the change that's wrought in terms of, kind of putting just an enormous amount of information and, computation power just, in your hand every minute of the day. And the way in which, as you say, kind of with the API, and one of the things that I was very surprised about is the API is cheap. I kind of thought originally when this was coming, it's like I thought, oh, that's where they're really gonna hit us on price is, the API is gonna be expensive. And at least for now, it's actually like an order of magnitude cheaper than similar technology has been in the past. And it was interesting. I was reading an article about somebody who was using AI to write kind of custom children's books.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they'd been using a prior technology and it was really making it hard for the business to turn a profit. And all of a sudden their costs like decreased by like a factor of 20 with the new API pricing. And I think that's gonna give, as you say, the ability to put that into the Analyst Hub, to put that into the learning platform, to kind of everything we build. I think we're going to have the ability to incorporate that technology into it.
Yeah, it's going to be everywhere. Well, that is just Microsoft's playbook, isn't it? Is they acquire a technology and then just undercut everyone. That's exactly what they're doing here. I mean, they're doing it with Power BI right now. I'll tell you another funny story. You'll like this one. Just how good AI is. This ChatGPT is. So my son Cooper, he someone came into his school. He's only 6. Someone came into his school and stole this pumpkin that they were growing. It was very sad. And then they looked on the video camera and it was this old granny, and this old granny that they think was a neighbor of the school, and he was tasked with writing a story. He wrote a storybook about it, and then I said, well, look, let's turn this into a story. Let's actually turn this into a story. I typed out the scenario into ChatGPT, and it wrote me like a 1,000-word story about gangster granny. And it did it in about 30 seconds. It's so crazy, and we were just reading it laughing. It's really fun. Really fun. But that's just there's just isolated examples of that everywhere, right? Just I know it's a bit of a tangent, but I thought it was a funny story to add. But it's just, to me, that's just what this work, to learn these new technologies and in this new tech enabled environment that we're in. You're putting them into practice with a workouts facility is just perfect timing. It's just perfect timing, and for us to enable that, I think is a really, really good move for us and also for our users. So, it's this confluence of events which I like.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I mean, it as you say, it's probably the biggest thing we've ever attempted. Kind of scale wise, and I think even impact wise, because I think, it not only is hugely beneficial in and of itself, but I think it further unlocks the the power of the, hundreds, if not thousands of hours of content, that we've got. Because I think once you've got that ability to, really put it to specific application, even going back and revisiting things you've watched, but now, okay, now I've got a particular problem that needs that video, and going back and watching it after you've been wrestling through a very specific problem, just to me makes it so much clearer.
Yeah. Well, I love that example you just gave, because I can see how we could integrate this even more into the actual learning video experience, right? Like over time, we'll have a catalog of these, and then as you're watching a video, we could have pop up to you related workouts, related workouts to this video. I mean, how amazing would that be? And then, we might have our chat GPT bot, there that you can, play around with and test and then participate in the, I can just see some really, really cool ways that this is going to coalesce within the platform that we're creating, just all integrated all together.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I've kind of gotten recently into this whole realm of personal knowledge management and kind of how to effectively manage kind of the flood of information that's coming at us on a daily basis. So you've got books, you've got videos, you've got articles, you've got social media posts, you've got everything you see and consume, and it's like, how do you keep track of it all? And there's some amazing technology now to kind of integrate all that in a really easy way. And so now as I watch a YouTube video, for example, or a platform video, I track it in this system, and I flag it, and I've got particular clickable time flags that I can then actually click on, and it'll link to a code snippet, or the code snippet will link back to that part of the video that explains it. And I think that sort of kind of integrated information management, combined with the workouts, and I've been kind of integrating the ones I've been doing with Excel BI into my PKM, portfolio. And I think, again, this just provides a whole nother feed of information for people into whatever way they manage their information, that they can then take to the practical work they do day to day and apply that in an effective way.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We've got another exciting announcement of someone joining us soon as well. I'll maybe leave that to the next podcast or a near future podcast, but it sort of goes in and amongst all this like AI and project center discussion, and how we're going to supercharge our content and resources around it all. So I'll just leave that as a little teaser about what
we can bring them on the next podcast.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. That's probably it's probably a good idea. Maybe we'll do that in the coming week or two. Oh well, look, I think we're probably about done here. Have we missed anything? Have we described everything that's happening? I mean, it's all time of recording. Our plan is to roll everything out in the coming days or week. So it's all gonna happen fast. It's gonna happen in a staggered approach. We're not gonna do everything all at once, but hopefully, we've really outlined the vision well today.
Yeah, I hope so. And I'm really hoping that within, say, a month's time, we'll have the full workout center up and rolling smoothly. Yeah, cool. Well, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to write in. Jump on the platform to learn. Jump onto Enterprise DNA's website and our platform to learn everything about it, and get involved. You'll see it on social media. You'll see it within the platform. We're going to make it very visible, and it's going to be a big part of what we do going forward. A big part of the learning experience. So yeah, look forward to getting you involved and getting your feedback. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for chatting about this new initiative for us, and thanks all for tuning in. Another great chat. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Sam.
Okay, see you, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's great to be connected, and I hope you are enjoying the content we're creating through the Analytic Mind podcast. If you enjoyed this session, make sure to subscribe to the podcast to get notified of each episode as we release them. If you want to learn more about Enterprise DNA and the many initiatives we're working on, check out www.enterprisedna.co. There we have a range of resources to download, events to attend, and information to explore. We're leading the charge around this new paradigm we're living in, where tools like Power BI can literally change how an organization manages, analyzes, and distributes insights that can make an impact. It's an exciting moment in the analytics space. So glad that you're on this journey with us. Take care.